And for Off the Block, I'm Vane Lopes, and we are now joined by Penn State head coach Mark Pavlik after a tough loss to number 2 Lewis in 4 games at home. Coach, pretty good, high offensive match tonight. Just weren't able to get the victory. How would you assess your team's performance?
I think over the weekend, both against Loyola and Lewis, we played well for great stretches of the match. At the times that we didn't play well, and Lewis and Loyola also played well for great stretches, and when we got them in trouble, I don't think it hurt them as much as we were hurt with our stretches of, the 10-15% of playing poorly in the match. And against good teams, that's what you got to expect. And I think that's why we put them on our schedule at this point. So disappointed with not being able to come away with a W. And looking forward to getting in the gym with these guys again. I like the way our teams responded from this. I don't think there's a bunch of hanging heads. I think it's let's see how good we can get with the time we have left.
Yeah, I have to ask for you, Coach. You've had such a successful year at Penn State, or successful career at Penn State. This is really rare for you to have a losing streak like this. How have you handled it, and how has your team responded to it?
Well, I put away all the sharp objects, to be honest. But, I just think when you're around and you've been around for a long time, and you're an old guy, these things happen. You go through this. I think it's more a testament to something that really excites me, is that we have got the NCAA men's volleyball has gotten so much better on a national level that it's fun. You got to go into it. You want to play well 100% of the time. You're going to be really pushed to the wall. So, it's in a work kind of way. It's really a testament to the effort that everybody's put in. We all need that to make us better. And I think I got to look at it that way. Otherwise, I will start looking for the sharp objects.
Yeah. Well, Coach, one player who's probably lure you away from the sharp objects has been Aaron Russell, in the loss of another 20-plus kill game. Can you just talk about his performance the first 3 weeks of the season?
Boy, he's really trying to put this team on his back and do everything he can do. And, of course, the public and the volleyball fans, all they have to look at are the stat sheets. But I wish you could see Aaron in practice. I wish you could see him talking to the guys and before and after matches. This is one of the most unselfish, humble guys that we've ever had in this program, and what he's doing and the numbers he's putting up. I don't think it's a surprise to people that we're going to set him a lot, and he's dealing with 2-3 man blocks. And I'm sure there were times over the last 3 weeks where if people could put 4 people in front of him, they would have. But my goal with him is, look, let's make sure we keep him fresh from now until April and May.
Yeah, and Coach, we do want to ask on the defensive end for your team. At this point, are you looking at maybe changing up anything, whether it's blocking schemes or personnel or anything defensively for you guys?
I don't think we're looking at changing things up. I think there's a refinement going on. There's a learning curve going on. Sometimes we're our worst enemy. And you're 0-6. Everybody wants to do a little bit more, so everybody starts to push and starts to try to do more than they really should be, and that's where things start to break down. But we're going to get back in the gym. These things are going to be corrected. We're going to keep working on this. And I like this group of guys. They're going to get tougher as the year goes along. I think they're really going to make this month work for them.
Yeah, and Coach, final question, and I'll let you go on this, because we're getting towards the start of conference play in the EIVA, and you kind of look at some of the results, and, it's really, some of them have been head-scratching, intriguing, whether it's St. Francis tonight pushing Loyola to the 5th game, or Sacred Heart pushing IPFW to the 5th game.
Wait, say that again?
St. Francis
went 5 with Loyola.
Yeah, St. Francis went 5 with Loyola tonight. And just to get your thoughts, have you been able to just make sense of this conference right now with some of the results that we're seeing?
I don't think I think it's not just our conference, but it's conference to conference to conference. What I said earlier about the parity of the men's game and everybody getting better, the thing that is really now rearing its head is travel. The teams that are traveling struggle. It doesn't mean they lose, but all of a sudden they're coming off of good weekends at home, and then getting in the bus, getting in the vans, whatever, getting on the plane, going someplace. The opponents are good enough, physical enough in their own gyms that I think they can take advantage of the team that walks in and feels a little bit of fatigue, because men's volleyball, the travel that we have to do, I think, is pretty unique to sport, because you can talk about hockey teams busing, and you can talk about things like that, teams like that. They're relatively normal-sized people. You put 6'8", 6'9" in seats for 3, 4, 5 hours at a time, and I think there's a recovery that needs to go along